TikTok trend has emerged in response to economic concerns about inflation and recession fears. It's called a no-buy challenge, where consumers basically don't buy anything that's not essential for a certain period of time. Like most social media challenges, the question becomes, does it actually work? Today, we're speaking with Bankrate's Alex Gailey about this trend. Alex, thanks for being here with us.
Thank you for having me here today.
So, Alex, what does a no-buy challenge really entail? You can still buy the essentials, right?
Yes, with a no-buy challenge, you're still buying the essentials, but you're cutting back on discretionary purchases. And you can tailor this challenge to your own financial situation. So it could be simply cutting out a discretionary category for a month to try to rework your budget and save more, or it could be as extreme as cutting back on nearly all discretionary spending for a few months up to a year. It really depends on the person, depends on their financial situation, their goals at the end of the day, but really the point remains the same regardless, and it's less spending and more saving.
Obviously, spending less can be challenging for many people, so how do you keep yourself on track with this?
Yes, certainly spending can be a challenge, especially on social media when we're constantly being fed our favorite brands and deals. But really, I think it's important to identify your financial goals and attach those to the no-buy challenge so that you're reminded constantly why you're doing this challenge. And in addition to that, make sure you lay out a plan for how you plan to accomplish this challenge, and make sure you have kind of smaller goals within that broader challenge so that it's attainable and realistic, but really it's important to just remember why you're doing this so that when you get to the end of the challenge, you don't go off and do some revenge spending.
I was just going to say, once you do complete the challenge, how do you start, doing that discretionary spending again? How do you get back into it without going crazy?
Yeah, that is the challenge here. I mean, when you're doing a no-buy challenge, it's going to be inherently hard because it's a habit that you're ultimately changing here. And so it is really important to start small and build over time with these challenges. You can always do multiple versions of these. You don't have to start off really extreme if you feel like that's just not going to fit realistically into your lifestyle. So I feel like starting small is the best route here, and then just building over time.
If everything goes well and you are able to save a lot of money, put that in your bank account for your savings, what do you do then? Is, the purpose to ultimately be able to afford something big one day, or just have an emergency savings in general?
Yes, I would say first step is having that emergency fund, 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. That's critical, especially at a time where there is a lot of economic uncertainty and we don't know where the job market is headed. We don't know if we'll enter a recession in the next year. And so that is key here. And then also other big financial goals you may have. Maybe it is taking a big vacation next year. Maybe it is saving for even a home, getting that down payment. So it really depends on your unique financial situation and what your goals are, but again, really important to attach those financial goals to a no-buy challenge so that you do stay motivated throughout that process.
All right, Alex. Well, thanks for joining us today and explaining this. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.